Lennox is an excellent HVAC franchise whose share price has been driven not only by earnings growth, but also by a major re-rating of the quality investors assign to those earnings. Let's start with the past. For much of the period before 2013, Lennox traded like a conventional cyclical manufacturer. The market recognized the brand and replacement demand, but the valuation remained relatively restrained because residential construction, weather and input costs could produce uneven results. The major success of the last decade was Lennox's ability to improve the economics of that model. Direct dealer relationships, company-owned distribution, disciplined pricing, productivity improvements and a growing mix of replacement, parts and service revenue allowed earnings to rise faster than the underlying HVAC market. In 2025, Lennox generated $5.2 billion of revenue and for the first time, delivered annual segment margins above 20%. That achievement explains why the stock eventually received a much higher valuation than it carried historically. But the chart also reveals the principal historical mistake. Investors occasionally price temporary operating advantages as permanent. By 2024 and 2025, the stock reached approximately $683 to $689, far above the conservative 15 times earnings path. At those levels, the market was capitalizing record margins, regulatory product transitions, replacement demand and pricing power as though channel inventories and residential volumes would remain consistently favorable. The subsequent decline toward $544 reflects a reset rather than a collapse in the franchise. First quarter 2026 revenue increased 6%, but operating income declined 3% and EPS fell 8%. Home comfort revenue remained 10% below the prior year as new construction and dealer demand stayed soft. In contrast, building climate solutions revenue increased 38%, with organic growth of 26%, and its margin reached 19.7%. The current picture is therefore not one of company-wide weakness, but of a strong commercial operation offsetting a residential business still working through a normalization cycle. At the current price, Lennox trades at roughly 24 times trailing earnings and approximately 22 to 23 times management's 2026 EPS guidance. That is far more reasonable than the peak valuation, but it is not deep value. The stock sits near the lower end of the forecast valuation range while remaining materially above the 15 times fair value line. Looking forward, management expects approximately 8% revenue growth in 2026, including 4 percentage points from acquisitions, adjusted EPS of $23.50 to $25 and free cash flow of $750 to $850 million. Beyond 2026, the company targets $6.5 to $7.5 billion of revenue and segment margins of 22 to 23% by 2030. Lennox has moved from overvaluation toward a more defensible entry point. Future returns now depend less on another multiple expansion and more on residential recovery, commercial execution, acquisition integration, and the company's ability to protect margins against higher costs. Let's go straight into the risks, because Lennox is no longer valued as an ordinary industrial company. Investors are paying a premium for execution, pricing power, and margin durability, which leaves limited tolerance for disappointment. The first risk is valuation. At roughly 24 times trailing earnings, Lennox is close to its historical normal multiple and well above the conservative 15 times benchmark shown in the chart. The recent correction removed the most extreme optimism, but the stock still assumes that earnings will remain structurally stronger than they were in earlier HVAC cycles. The second risk is residential demand. Home comfort revenue declined 10% in the first quarter, with continued weakness in new construction and softer dealer activity. Replacement demand is more resilient than housing construction, but homeowners can still postpone expensive HVAC installations when financing costs are high or consumer confidence deteriorates. Tariffs and material inflation are another immediate concern. Lennox purchases significant quantities of steel, copper, aluminum, and third-party components. The company has warned that changes in tariffs and trade agreements can affect costs, demand, and profitability. Pricing can offset part of that pressure, but repeated increases may eventually encounter customer resistance or encourage trade down to lower-cost equipment. Weather introduces volatility that management cannot control. Cooling demand benefits from hot summers, while mild weather can reduce emergency replacements and leave distributors carrying excess inventory. Because industry shipments are highly seasonal, an unfavorable summer can affect factory utilization, mix, and margins disproportionately. Channel inventory is closely connected to this risk. Lennox has already experienced destocking and factory underabsorption. If distributors or dealers misjudge seasonal demand, production may need to be reduced, spreading fixed costs across fewer units. Acquisition execution also matters. Lennox paid approximately $545 million for Duro Dyne and Supco. These businesses expand parts and supplies, but the expected benefits depend on successful integration, cross-selling, and cost discipline. Lennox's primary risk is not the relevance of HVAC. It is whether a cyclical and weather-sensitive company can consistently deliver the premium margins and earnings growth already embedded in its valuation. Now let's look at the opportunity side, because Lennox has several ways to grow without relying on a major housing boom. In the short term, the most direct catalyst is normalization in residential channels. Lennox reported that distributor sentiment improved during the first quarter and that restocking had begun ahead of the summer season. The comparison base is now easier, and a more balanced inventory environment would improve manufacturing absorption and allow pricing and productivity gains to flow more visibly into profit. Building Climate Solutions is already providing a second growth engine. First quarter segment revenue increased 38%, supported by organic growth, acquisitions, emergency replacement demand, and new national account wins. Commercial customers value reliability and rapid replacement because equipment failure can disrupt stores, restaurants, warehouses, and other facilities. That makes this demand less dependent on discretionary homeowner spending. The Duro Dyne and Supco acquisition broadens Lennox's exposure to parts, controls, accessories, and maintenance products. These categories extend the customer relationship beyond the initial equipment sale and allow Lennox to participate in installation, repair, and preventative maintenance throughout the system's life. Longer term, the installed base is the central opportunity. Heating and cooling systems eventually require repair or replacement, regardless of short-term economic conditions. Higher efficiency standards, heat pump adoption, and demand for connected controls can also increase the value of each replacement rather than merely the number of units sold. Water heating provides an additional adjacency. The Ariston joint venture has introduced gas, electric, and heat pump water heaters through Lennox's distribution network. Initial demand exceeded internal plans, and the partners are now expanding availability and dealer adoption across North America. The broader strategy is to evolve from an equipment manufacturer into a lifecycle climate solutions provider. More parts, service, controls, water heating, and commercial maintenance could reduce dependence on individual equipment cycles and support management's long-term target of 22 to 23% segment margins. So the upside framework is straightforward. Normalize residential volumes, sustain commercial momentum, monetize the installed base, and expand the product portfolio through disciplined acquisitions and partnerships. Analyst sentiment on Lennox is cautious rather than bearish. We have 6 buy ratings, 10 holds, 1 sell, and no strong buy or strong sell ratings. The absence of strong buy ratings is important. It suggests that analysts recognize the quality of the franchise, but do not view the current valuation as an obvious bargain. Lennox has strong brands, direct dealer relationships, attractive replacement demand, and a commercial segment that is performing exceptionally well. However, the stock still trades at a premium multiple while residential volumes and margins are not yet fully recovered. The 10 hold ratings capture that tension. The business is executing well enough to make an aggressive bearish case difficult, but the current price already assumes meaningful earnings improvement during the next several years. The bullish analysts are likely focused on residential normalization, commercial growth, acquisition synergies, and Lennox's long-term margin targets. The sell rating reflects the opposite concern, that cost pressure or weaker demand could prevent earnings from catching up with the valuation. My takeaway is that Wall Street sees Lennox as a high-quality company at a relatively balanced price. The next re-rating will require visible residential recovery and renewed margin expansion, not simply stable results.